Welcome back, guys, to another episode of How I Got the Shot. Today we're going to be focusing on the editorial that I shot for KAISO.SWIM. This campaign was shot in Miami, Florida. It was a very, very dope shoot. Lots of great people on set. It was one of those projects that like everyone kind of resonates with when they see it. I think it's the vibrancy of the colors. Maybe it's the models, maybe it's the location, maybe it's the photography. I don't know. But the combination of everything together is just really, really dope. So I wanted to walk through how we got the shot, the elements, the inspiration, and then how I actually processed the files in Photoshop. Let's start with some BTS from the shoot. So now that you guys have seen some BTS from today, you can see that we all had a lot of fun. We were on set laughing, having a good time, music playing in the background, and at the same time, we're getting really dope images. Like we knew while we were shooting it, we were like really executing the move forward. So from a creative perspective, I didn't come up with the concept. This was one of those projects where I was brought on, everything was pretty much developed. They just needed my insight on certain lighting things to make sure it was going to make sense. And, you know, as far as like getting the sizing and everything correct. But Semisola and Trish, the owner, they had already had everything kind of flushed out. It was just a matter of me showing up that day and executing the vision. One of the things that I loved about the idea that they had was the background. I love the fact that Semisola grabbed these editorial reference images from like a really high end and, you know, editorial shoot. You know, the ones that are really dramatic and really moody. So we wanted to make the images a little more vibrant to keep in mind the type of clients that Trish would be going after. We were thinking about, okay, who was going to buy KAISO.SWIM? What is their lifestyle? What do they do on a daily? What are they like? What are they drawn to? So we thought, okay, definitely this background, adding this, you know, adding those colors, let them pop together. And the orange really popped against the green, as you guys can see, but it also helped the model stand out as well. So we didn't have like anything really clashing that day. It was great. So as far as gear, I shoot with a Canon R5. On that day, I was using the 70 to 200, 2.8 EF lens. I had the EF to RF adapter attached to it to make everything work. You know, they have to talk together. I was tethered into Capture One as always, so that I can actually see what I'm shooting as it's happening. This also lets my client see the images as they're coming in to make sure everybody's on the same page. As far as lighting, I was using the ProPhoto B1Xs, both on C-stands. I had a 5-foot octobox as my main light, and then I had a 3-foot octobox as my fill. So I have them stacked on top of each other, kind of in a clam light type scenario, but they were basically parallel with each other to make sure I got even spread over the model. Then once we had the model switch poses and we had them go lower, you can see here that I actually moved the smaller octobox to the other side. And so that could work as my fill light, but I kept my 5-foot on the opposite side as the main light. And yes, I was shooting in the sun. My main concern during that process was just making sure I found a good balance, which was not easy, but I figured it out. But once I found that balance, it was easy just to get the shooting going. So when it came to actually processing the files, I brought them into Capture One, and as you guys can see, like there were a lot of good images. There were a lot of good options to go through. It was very difficult to refine them down to what I was going to send to the client. And I know Trish also had a tough time trying to pick which one she loved the most. And that's always a good problem to have. Now, from a basic processing standpoint, I didn't do a lot of adjustments because while I was shooting, I was checking there. So I made a lot of changes on set to make sure that I had my images, balanced the way I wanted them to. I had the color right. Capture One, it was more just getting them organized. I made very, very little changes to the actual raw files before I sent them over to Photoshop. So now that we're in Photoshop, this is where it got interesting. Not because there was any issues with the models, or issue with lighting. It was that I had to do some Photoshop magic before generative fill was a thing. Before I had any additional AI tools, I had to do it manually. Luckily, because of my project, the Eve aesthetic, I had quite a bit of time working with composites, so it wasn't like a big thing. It just was very time consuming. So I was having to take the orange portion from different shots and bring those in, balance them together, then use different tools to make sure that everything was straightened, and then make sure the reflections fit the water, making sure the lighting and everything and shadows made sense. It was a bit of a task. It was definitely a bit of a task. It was a challenge that I was looking forward to because I'm competitive, but it was very time consuming. I think I've said time consuming 3,000 times, but I mean it. It took me quite a while, but it was so worth it. When I saw the final images together, as a group, it was worth all that additional time put into Photoshop. But as you can see, when we're going through, I didn't have to make any crazy change to the skin. There was no over editing necessary. Both models had great skin, and makeup artists did a great job as far as applying makeup. They're professionals, so they really did a good job. They made my job super, super easy. Let me know if you guys had any questions regarding the shoot. Feel free to leave a comment below, like and subscribe. There will be more videos coming up soon. I have a lot of good content, and I finally finished editing for Sunshine. So if you guys haven't seen that video, you can click here or click there or where one of these spots. You can actually see that video I did with Sunshine. I'm making how I got the shot for that project as well. I'm looking forward to it. That one I'm looking forward to showing you guys. It was just a dope day, and I'm just glad we were able to figure out what we were able to figure out. Oh, and before I go, make sure you visit diobertophoto.com/education to learn more about my one-on-one sessions that I offer photographers. These sessions are custom to you. They can be virtual or in person. This is not like a general workshop. This is literally one-on-one coaching through whatever scenarios, whatever questions, or whatever concepts you want to talk about. It's all catered to you. I give you all 13 years of my wisdom during those sessions. I don't hold anything back. I do my best to answer every question and make sure that you grow as a photographer.